Sweet. So let's share screen here. Here we go. Setting up real quick. Screen. Give me 1 second, guys. Setting it up here. Okay, 1 second. Screen. Second computer set up here. Let me just gotta go back in here a second. This one. It's not private. Here we go. Okay.
I can't even see it now in your app.
1 second. Okay, here we go. Content. Okay, so now I'll push it. Connecting. Okay, sweet. Okay, here we go. Sweet. Sweet. Close the door, please. Let's set this up, set that up. Let me edit. Make it public. Here we go. Sweet. Welcome into the live stream, guys. We head back here, go to the main view. Here we go. So this is a live stream, obviously talking about the severe weather that we are going to be expecting. Obviously, right now, going into this evening, we are experiencing that high risk for severe weather today. And currently, we right now, as of this live stream, we currently have 12 tornado warnings ongoing from portions of Illinois back into eastern Texas. So a very active severe weather threat is actively occurring. So I thought I'd just give you a quick update on these as this high risk looks to be unfortunately coming to fruition, as we've already seen many tornadoes today and many more expected through the evening tonight. So let's go tornado warning by tornado warning here, and kind of just giving an overview of what we can expect and what we are currently seeing right now across the central U.S. These you can see we got two kind of semi-discrete supercells here, two little different hooks here. Let me draw them for you guys. We got one here. We got one here. Again, these both have a tornado warning associated with these storms. These were just recently issued here. Let's take a closer look at the velocity. And definitely a little bit of a couplet here right next to Jefferson. You can definitely see some rotation as well there. Again, I don't know if that's on the ground or not. This is still a radar indicated tornado. Same with the one to the north. Again, there is a little bit of rotation here in Queens as well. But definitely be in your safe spots if you're in any of these areas, as there definitely could be a tornado dropping out of either of those storms. Let's go further to north here. This is to the east of Little Rock. And look at this. This is a concerning sight right here. This is still indicated tornado, but this is very tight rotation. If I had to guess, I would currently say that that's on the ground. Tight rotation here, just going into Elmira. So if you're anywhere in Elmira here in the Arkansas region, make sure you take cover because this looks like to be on the ground. There's tight rotation with this. I would not be surprised if this has already dropped a tornado. We have a couple other warnings here. Let me go further up here to the north. 1 second. Further to the north here, we have a couple other areas of rotation. Here's another one just to the east of Oil Trough. Again, pretty strong but weak rotation Another rotation right here. So a lot of these storms are beginning to unfortunately spin here. When we go over to the high resolution. So again, it's pretty messy out there. We have some discrete supercells in front of a line of storms, but again, a lot of tornado warnings associated with these because a lot of these storms are unfortunately moving. Let's take a closer look here. Going into Tennessee, we currently have 2 tornado warnings. Let me pull up the closest radar for you guys. And we have one going into Whitesville and then one just to the east of Whitesville. Let's take a look at the high resolution. Again, very broad rotation associated with both of these. You can see one right here, one right in here. I don't think there's a tornado on the ground, but with any of these tornado warnings today, you should obviously be taking caution, and you should be taking notice to these warnings because with just very favorable conditions today, any of these could drop a tornado. Let's go further to the north here. Now we're getting into Missouri here. This is southern Missouri. You have 2 more tornado warnings. This is kind of associated with that QLCS line of thunderstorms. There just still could be some spin up tornadoes in this line. And look at this. Again, going to Williamsville, a very tight rotation. Let me play this back for you guys. See how this is wrapped up here. Coming together very strong, and I would not be surprised if this is on the ground here, going just to the north of Williamsville, and this is going to be going into Greensville. So take shelter if you're in Greensville right now, as there is a tornado approaching. Still radar indicated, but tight rotation with that. And then going up to Frederickstown, a little bit less rotation for that tornado warned storm, but obviously still take heed to that warning. Let's go. And then going up into Illinois here, we have a slew of warnings. Let's go back to the reflectivity. As you can see, again, kind of that QLCS line continuing to the east, and we have one, two. It's just we have a bunch of tornado warnings. I think there's 3 different ones. All radar indicated, which is good. But again, still want to take precaution, even if the radar indicated tornado warnings. Let's take a look at the velocity here. And again, there are some broad areas of rotation. Obviously, this is kind of like the setup which we saw on Sunday. It's going to be hard to pinpoint exactly where, you know, you're going to see those tornadoes spin up because, again, these are QLCS tornadoes. They spin up very quickly and they're very quickly. These will be short-lived tornadoes. We have another tornado warning that was just issued going to the north of Frederickstown. So let's take a look at that one. And this, let's see here. Again, this is part of another line of thunderstorms, but there is definitely strong rotation with this. Look at these winds here. Very strong winds here. Definitely picking up, and that rotation is definitely stronger right in here. That's a good call by the National Weather Service. Right in here. Very large area of broad but strong rotation. And I would not be surprised if that storm ends up dropping a tornado here in the short term. Again, unfortunately, the tornado potential is just going to continue to pick up going into this evening. These next 3 to 4 hours are really going to be the meat peak for seeing tornadoes. Again, there's some more rotation in here. Oh, just all these storms have rotation with them. They're all starting to rotate. Again, some have it obviously more than others. It's an interesting setup what we have right now. We have a QLCS just line of severe thunderstorms, and then we have some totally discrete thunderstorms right in front of this line of storms. So the best potential for tornadoes is going to be in these discrete line of storms out ahead of the severe front that's going through from obviously west to east. Let's see. Right now, we have 17 tornado warnings. They currently So we just had a PDS tornado warning. So let's go back down to Monroe, Arkansas, and Arkansas, Arkansas. This is the only confirmed tornado out of the 17 warnings right now. Well, let's see which one that is. We do have a confirmed PDS tornado warning. It's going to be this one. So this is observed. You can see this is concerning here. Look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 discrete supercells. You could argue, I would say 5 that are discrete right now and that are all hooking. These are all very powerful supercells. And yep, this is very concerning. Like I said, this has now been confirmed. It is on the ground going right through Elmira. Hopefully, the town is taking cover. It's very small. Elmira looks to only be, 4 streets by 5 streets. Hopefully, everyone is in their shelter. But let's look at the correlation coefficient to confirm it. I'm assuming we're going to see, yep. So there's that debris ball. So this is confirmed. This is going to be radar confirmed. There's that debris ball right over Elmira. So just prayers for them. Hopefully everyone is in their safe spot because this looks to be a strong tornado on the ground here. And you can see there's that hook here. This is your classic look going like this. You got winds going in, you got winds going out. And this is where you're gonna see that tornado right in there. Your classic supercell look. All these storms are gonna have the potential to do that, unfortunately. And this storm back towards just to the west of Gillette is gonna go into very similar and it's just continue to strengthen here. I wouldn't be surprised if the storm to the south really. And again, these places are gonna have multiple potentials to see tornadoes. Once you have a tornado warning, it doesn't mean that this severe weather threat is over. There can be multiple rounds. We're currently up to 19 tornado warnings now. One confirmed tornado as of now, 26 severe thunderstorm warnings. So this is just a widespread tornado outbreak. Look at this. We have a tornado warning all the way up into southern Wisconsin. Let's take a close look at this one real quick. A little bit of spin here just to the east of Evansville, right in there. That is crazy. You do not see it too often where you're seeing tornado warnings ranging all the way from Wisconsin all the way back into eastern Texas. Just a line of tornado warnings stretching all the way down. Okay, let's take a closer look. Let's go back in. Arkansas right now is obviously being impacted the most. Let's take a closer look here. Let's go back into our storm here. Let's go back up. So here's our another radar. This is concerning as well here. So this is another radar indicated tornado warning, but definitely rotation starting to form with this one as well. This is going to be going up towards Augusta and Tupelo, Arkansas here. Let me go back to reflectivity so you can get a better idea. So again, rotation observed. So the particularly dangerous situation. Confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Elmira, or 12 miles southeast of Stuttgart, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. These storms are flying right now. Just very strong winds aloft. And that is a very concerning sight here. Very tight rotation, obviously, right there. So now it's just to the north of Elmira. Let's look back at the reflectivity here. And you can see, obviously, you got that classic hook right now. Kind of got that deepening. So this is going to be your tornado right in here. Let's time this out for you guys. Luckily, it's in a pretty rural area as of now. Let's show you how the storm's evolved here. This is over the last 45 minutes, just going basically due north. So next in track for this PDS tornado warning is going to be Holly Grove, and Clarendon, and Rowe, and even Ulm as well. You all want to be in your safe spot. Eventually, this is going to be going up towards Brinkley, Arkansas, and that's definitely a more highly populated area. So again, that's going to be probably around an hour out. Let me time this out for you guys real quick here. See. So we're going basically due north. Let's time this out. It's going 60 miles an hour. So Casco, 5 minutes. Lookout, 7 minutes. Aberdeen, 10 minutes. Row, 11 minutes. And then Clarendon is 16 minutes. 1,400 people in this area that I just outlined. And every single one of those people should be underground. This is a very strong and violent tornado right now, going basically due north here, slightly to the northeast, but very basically due north. Let's go back over to the velocity, and you can just see how this storm has wrapped up here. Unfortunately, especially it looks like it went right over Elmira. It looks like Elmira has taken a direct hit from this storm. On the latest run here, it does look that the velocities have weakened a little bit, which is a good sign. Let's zoom in. Still, though, tight rotation. I would still think that this is definitely still on the ground here. Going basically just due north, Clarendon and Rowe. You definitely obviously want to be in your safe spots along with Holly Grove. Storm warnings here. They're all going to be going towards the Jonesboro and Forest Cities areas in Arkansas. So you want to be weather aware if you're in those areas as this is getting to a sloppy situation. We have discrete supercells out in front of a line of storms. Eventually, these are going to kind of get connected with that line of thunderstorms and continue eastward. We have multiple discrete supercells. You don't see this too often. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here out in front. Let's look at the velocity and go over each of these ones. This is concerning. This catches my eye right away. Radar indicate tornado, but if I had to guess, this is on the ground. Very tight rotation. This is just to the east of Fisher. This is going to be going right in the track towards Waldenburg and Wiener, and then eventually up to Jonesboro, Arkansas. Let me play this out for you guys, and you can see how this thing is quickly. Look at that. It's quickly intensified. And if I had to guess, this looks like it would be on the ground. Let's take a look at the correlation coefficient here. And that looks like a debris drop to me, which would indicate a tornado. Let's make sure of this. Definitely a tornado. So you can see there's that correlation coefficient right in there. That's indicating that there's debris in the sky, obviously indicating that tornado has touched the ground here. So if you're in these areas, this is going to be continuing. This is going right towards Jonesboro, Arkansas. Obviously, a very, very heavily populated area here. You can see how this is even deepened out over the last few scans here. Let's go back over to the velocity. And your tornado is going to be right in here, right in there. And that's heading basically barely to the northeast here, but basically due north, heading straight towards Jonesboro. This is very concerning as well. This is another radar indicated tornado, but just to the east of Bald Knob. Very strong. Again, a little bit broader, but very, very strong rotation here. Just to the east of Bald Knob. Very large rotation as well, a large area. Let's see. We're still at 19 tornado warnings. I think we only have still the one. We have the one confirmed here. We have now a second one confirmed here, observed here across Arkansas. This is let's see. Have they observed this one? No. So this one has been observed. Yep. So the one that I was just talking about, they have now confirmed is a particularly dangerous situation. They have now confirmed it via radar. And this is going straight up towards Jonesboro. Let's see here. Can we see this webcam? Does it give any view? Doesn't look like it. You can't get a view of the storm. It looks like it's facing the wrong direction here. Fortunately, we don't have any cameras kind of going up towards Jonesboro. Let me go back over to the velocity. And this is still going to be on the ground right here. Again, strong rotation right in here. It's a PDS tornado warning. I would argue that the storm's going a little bit due north more. You can see the polygon here from the National Weather Service. It's kind of more northeast. I would say this is heading straight beeline right towards Jonesboro. Unfortunately, again, hopefully this weakens out quickly here before it gets into a more heavily populated area. If you're in Harrisburg as well or Waldenburg, you want to take shelter as this is a very dangerous tornado currently on the ground. Let's head back down to the Little Rock. Let's see here. Tornado warning here. And I would argue that this is still on the ground here. This is heading towards Holly Grove. If you're in Holly Grove or Clarendon, you want to take shelter immediately. This is a very dangerous tornado. Let's go over to the correlation coefficient here. Let's see. Let's play it back. Can we still have a debris ball? I think we still do. So I believe this is still your tornado. This looks like debris ball right there. So I still think you have a tornado on the ground here heading north. It looks like it's hopefully going to cross between Holly Grove and Clarendon. Yep, you definitely still have that tornado on the ground with that last radar. Again, your tornado is going to be right in here. Let's go back over to the velocity. And I would have to argue that this may be on the ground as well, heading up towards Elmira and DeWitt that just experienced a tornado go through a mere 10 minutes ago. You can definitely see that hook developing here, and this is going to a very favorable environment. And again, this is obviously going to have the very large potential of dropping a tornado as well. Inflation coefficient here. And nothing yet. I don't see any debris ball, anything yet. I think this is gonna have the potential to drop a tornado as well. We still got those 2 observed tornadoes here. Rotation has weakened on the last scan here, which is a good sign. Hopefully, this weakens before it gets to Clarendon and Holly Grove. Let's go back up here. Let's head over to our tornado warnings. We have 21 tornado warnings. It is very rare when you see over 20 tornado warnings. That's just never a good sight here. And it's really picked up over the last half an hour ago. So we currently have 1 PDS tornado warning. We have 2 PDS tornado warnings. 2 confirmed tornadoes as of now, but they are definitely still currently causing damage. This looks very concerning here. This does not look good. Let me do a closer radar site. I don't think we do to the Arkansas radar site. Let me zoom out here. So this is not good. This rotation has definitely picked up here. This is to the east of Pocahontas. This tornado is just indicated, but very strong rotation. It is broader, but this is concerning with how much rotation there is with this storm. And you can see there is a little inflow notch here, right coming in the storm, right in there. You can see there's that inflow notch. Your tornado is going to be right in here. Let me go back over to the velocity here and watch how quickly this has come together over the last couple of runs. That is a very concerning. Let's see if there's a correlation coefficient on this yet. It doesn't look like it yet. It doesn't look like we have a correlation coefficient drop yet, but I would still have to argue that that's potentially on the ground. That is a very concerning sight. Let's go back over to our observed tornado warning. And this is heading up towards Jonesboro. Let's take a look at this one again. Rotation has gone stronger, but it's broadened out, which is a good sign here. It's definitely broadened. Let's go back to the correlation coefficient. It doesn't look like this one's on the ground anymore. Watch this. You're gonna see that drop. There's that drop. There's that tornado. You're gonna see it. Watch it develop right in here. It was on the ground for a few scans, and now it's kind of lifted. So this tornado is lifted as of now, as it's heading currently to the northeast. Hopefully, it does not recycle, but with these storms, it's definitely going to have the potential to. We've been dropped down. Now we're still at 22 tornado warnings. Holy moly. We got 1 PDS tornado warning, and we have 2. Those are the 2 observed tornado warnings as of now. But I think you could argue right now that we have currently multiple tornadoes on the ground. Let's take a look real quick here back into Illinois. We gotta cover everyone here. Let's go back over to the velocity. Again, strong rotation here just to the south of Effingham. We also have multiple areas of rotation, just to the east of Salem. These are all radar indicated, but you want to take shelter as these storms are all definitely spinning. Let's head back down to Arkansas here. Look at this. Just most of eastern Arkansas just covered in tornado warnings. Let's go back over. I think this is going to be our best angle here, the best radar site. Let's head over to the velocity. And this tornado, this is still a radar indicated tornado, but this is starting to look a little bit more concerning here. The rotation has picked up here just to the west of Wind. This is going to be heading up towards Cherry Valley. Definitely rotation with that one. Take shelter. Rotation has definitely increased the possibility. Let's go back out to check on that camera here, see if it has any of a better view. I don't think it's pointing the right direction, unfortunately. Let's and this is jeez Louise. Very strong, closer radar site. We are pretty far out from the radar, but the Little Rock radar here is showing an incredible amount of winds going towards and against the radar here. Let's go up here. We'll go this radar. And this looks very concerning. Holy moly. Huge area of rotation, giant area. Hopefully, this is all just spinning above the surface. Nothing's on the ground. It is still radar indicated, but that velocity is some of the most intense velocity you're going to see. Let's hurry here. We haven't checked on these storms in a little bit. Look at the velocity. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we got more again, very strong rotation, very strong winds here. I would not be surprised up right in here. Be aware if you're going, this is going to be heading up towards the Jackson, Mississippi area. Very strong winds. Be aware if you're in these areas. And then going up here, this is again, this is a tornado on the ground. I can almost guarantee you this. This is tight rotation. This is just to the west of Perryville. They just issued a new tornado warning with this. Still radar indicated, but very tight rotation just to the west of Perryville. Let's head over to the reflectivity. Again, this is in that line of storm, so you're not going to see a hook. This may be rain wrapped, but again, still could drop a very powerful tornado. Nothing on the correlation coefficient yet, which is a good sign. But again, definitely still a possibility of dropping a tornado with that one. We still are at 22 tornado warnings currently. Let's head back down to Arkansas. Let's check on that. Look at this. This is a crazy hook. Look at this hook right here. Jeez Louise. Going the crazy hook. Let's go into the velocity here. Yeah, this is concerning. Right here, just to the west of Wind, the rotation has definitely picked up. And this is a very discrete supercell. And you can see there it looks like starting to be some convergence here between this storm, between these two, some convergence here in the winds aloft here going towards it against the radar. Definitely more in this last scan here. So again, that still could have a potential of dropping another tornado. Let's head over back to the Little Rock. We'll kind of toggle between the two radar sites. And again, the Little Rock indicating. So this is radar indicated, but I just don't know how this can't be on the ground. The Little Rock radar is indicating very strong rotation. Look on this storm as well. Let's head over to the velocity. Jeez Louise, all these storms are rotating. This one has rotation on it as well. Right here. Strong rotation. I would not be surprised if this one eventually gets to the ground as well with a correlation coefficient. Nothing yet on the correlation coefficient, so it doesn't look like it's touched the ground yet. We can't confirm anything, but strong rotation with that one as well. If you are in that risk, let's head up here to Little Rock. And they were just hit by a tornado just to the east of Elmira this time. Again, stronger rotation. Let's look at the correlation coefficient. I don't on the ground from this. Let me play this back real quick. There's that first tornado. You can see it. That strong debris ball. And this is almost taking the exact same path where that first tornado took. Literally almost the exact same path. Let's zoom back out here. We are currently still at 21 tornado warnings. Let's quickly look here. All radar indicated We still have that one PDS tornado warning now in Missouri. So they've issued a PDS tornado warning in Missouri. Let's quickly look at that one. I'm assuming that's for that storm that is rotating very strongly here. Cape Girardeau is now in that tornado warning here. Let's take a look at the velocity. This a little far out. Let's see if we can get closer radar. This is a large PDS tornado warning. Let's see here. This is a radar site is rough. It's kind of in a radar loophole, you could say. Let's see. There's rotation on this one as well here, just to the north of Corning, basically going right through Corning. So that rotation, it's going to be hard to see. We are kind of in a little bit of a loophole, a dead zone for the radar, but your rotation is going to be right in here. So obviously take it with caution. This is an observed tornado. Is it radar indicated? Let's see. It's moving east at 50 miles an hour. Radar confirmed tornado. So obviously take caution right now and obviously get to your safe spot if you're in any of these areas. Let's go back out here. Let's go back down here to eastern Arkansas. Let's look at the velocity. And this has definitely picked up here just to the east of Jonesboro. The rotation has strengthened again. Let's look at our camera here. Is this may be taking a beeline right for the camera. It is taking a beeline right for this camera. Let's take a look at this camera here. You can see there's that storm approaching. Let's take a closer look here. Can't see anything from it right now. Definitely a lowering on it. But this is a very tight rotation with this storm. Let's go down to the correlation coefficient here. Nothing confirmed as of yet. No CC drop. But again, be in your safe spots with this one. Let's look at the newest velocity real quick. It just came in. Continuing to tighten, continuing to strengthen here. We'll head back to our camera here in a second. Going towards wind. Let's see here. Let's go back over to the Little Rock. It looks like there's still rotation on this one. It is still radar confirmed. All of these storms have very broad rotation. I don't think a lot of these are on the ground, but every time, every new run that comes in, this looks more and more tighter here. And now they've now issued an observed tornado warning on this. Confirmed, law enforcement confirmed tornado. So this is currently on the ground here. This is confirmed. Observed tornado here. Let's see. Let's go back over to our camera. This is going to give us a great angle here. There's that large lowering to the east of your screen here, to the right side. Let's take a close look at this. Large lowering. Starting to pan the camera. I can't control this camera, unfortunately. But this is heading basically straight towards that camera. I don't see anything on the ground yet. Nothing that I can notice right away from it. Let's see. A lot of lightning with the storm. You can see very strong winds right in front of the storm. Definitely some rotation with it. Again, I don't see anything. There's definitely some scud coming up. Look at this on your right side of the screen. A lot of scud coming up in the storm. It's building a large base here. Definitely a rapidly rotating storm here. A lot of scud quickly building. Doesn't look like to me anything's on the ground, but it's going to be, again, let's see here. The rotation is so strong with the storm. Holy moly. Let's go over the correlation coefficient. Still nothing confirmed on the ground with the CC drop. Let's head back over to that reflectivity. It's going to be right in, let's see, let's play it back for you guys here. It's going to be right in here. It's going to be your rotation right in there. Let's see. Again, very strong rotation. Just heading, it's going to be basically right. So this is heading up towards Bay. If you live in the town of Bay, you want to take cover immediately. Get into the closest interior room of your house and take shelter. We're up to 25 tornado warnings right now. 25. I cannot tell you the last time we've seen 25 tornado warnings. We had that one PDS tornado warning, and that's the only one confirmed as of now. But this is a very concerning looking storm here. Let's head back to our camera here. This is heading right to the basically just north of our camera here. Large lowering, very strong winds. There's definitely some good inflow with this storm. Again, nothing I can see is on the ground right now. Definitely, obviously, a large lowering, a lot of scud developing. I wish I could pan this camera a little bit more to the right. I obviously cannot control it. But just very strong rotation. You just have to guess that this is on the ground. Hopefully it's not, though. This is going to be heading up to Bay, Lake City, into Black Oak, and then eventually towards Montiette. Hopefully this thing quickly falls apart. With every radar scan is unfortunately getting tighter and tighter. I wish if we looked a little bit, if we panned out a little bit to the right, we definitely have a better view here. But I can't, unfortunately, cannot do that. Again, it's kind of a radar hole right in here, right in southern Missouri, unfortunately. A warning here. It's still observed, still PDS, particularly dangerous situation. Again, the hard thing is it's in a little bit of a radar hole, so we can't have a great view on it. There's no radar kind of really in a general area that really gives of what is happening. The St. Louis one gives some broad rotation, but again, that's just so far out. And the Paducah one is just not giving us a good picture here. Again, once it gets a little bit closer to Cape Girardeau, then we will have a better idea on the storm our hole as of now. Let's head back down here and let's go over these. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 discrete supercells in front of this QLCS line of severe thunderstorms. Again, all of these are rotating. There's rotation, obviously right here, right here. There's some broad rotation in there. There's kind of that most major rotation as of now. There's even some rotation right there going over Cherry Valley. So 5 different areas of interest here just in this area of thunderstorms here. These are all rotating. There's even some, just even more rotation up here towards even Walnut Ridge. Again, very broad, which is good, but still rotation nonetheless. Let's head back into that camera here. Let's see if they were able to pan it, whoever's manning that camera. Again, we can't get a great look at it. You can see it's going right to the north of this camera. It's going to be crossing right now Interstate 555, Route 555. And look at that. Just crazy. This rotation is extremely picked up here. This is going to be heading towards Lake City and Black Oak. Let's look at the CC drop. This is confirmed by law enforcement, so they say it is on the ground. Still no CC drop here. It's going to update here in a minute or so. But again, it's going to be right. Here's that hook. Here's that supercell. You got your supercell out here. There's your hook right in there. You got winds going in. You got winds going out. Right? That camera's getting the inflow winds. And then obviously there's your tornado right in there. Classic setup. Let's go back to the velocity here. Just very, very strong rotation. Going up here, let's take a look here. Again, very strong but broad rotation up here to the east of Corning. This is going in. This is still in very northern Arkansas. It's however the Paducah satellite imagery. Definitely some rotation with it. Broad. Nothing's on the ground yet, but that could organize here pretty quickly. We're at 24 tornado warnings. We also a tornado warning here in Woodruff, White, and Jackson, Arkansas. That tornado could also be producing that in that tornado warning. That storm could also be producing 2.75 inch, which is baseball size hail. So if you are in that tornado warning, there's also a hail threat with this. So we have a PDS tornado warning for Poinsett, Arkansas, and Craighead, Arkansas. Now let's go up here. These are all still radar indicated. We do have an observed tornado now up into Illinois, so we'll check on that one quickly. They have canceled that PDS warning for portions of southern Mississippi here, or southern Missouri, excuse me, going up towards Cape Girardeau. It is still confirmed, but they've taken that PDS tag off of it. But they have, let's go back quickly here. But going over to this storm here, they have confirmed this, and it is a PDS tornado warning, with just a crazy amount of rotation on this storm. Let's go back up here towards, and there's so that's still radar. Let's see. They said there is a confirmed tornado. Which one is it here? This is the observed one here. Definitely rotation right in here, just to the east of Louisville. Definitely could drop a tornado with this one. Let's see. Is this one? This is radar confirmed tornado. Let's look at a quick look at the CC drop right here. CC. Again, you can't see much on the CC drop, but it is a radar confirmed tornado. Let's head back down to Arkansas, where the heaviest of the action currently is. Just to the south of Jonesboro, Arkansas, a major tornado is currently on the ground. Come on, radar site. Load up here. Here we go. There's that. Let's see here. Let's go. And that velocity is just crazy. Watch how this has come together. First, it came together, and then it recycled. And look at this. It's turned monster tornado here. It just went through the town of Bay. This is heading straight towards Lake City, and eventually it's going to be heading up towards Montiat and Leachville. Very large tornado. Let me time this out for you guys. This thing's going around 55 miles an hour. Lunsford, 4 minutes. Lake City, 8 minutes. Poplar Ridge, 11 minutes. If you're in any of these areas, take shelter now. A large tornado is on the ground. Take shelter immediately. There's that hook here. There's your tornado right in here, just to the northeast of Bay. Let's look at Connor Croft here. He's going to have a good view of the storm here. Let's see what his view is here, if he has a view of the tornado currently. Let's see. He may be out of range. Fortunately, I think we lost him. Let's see here. Let's see. And look at this. Here's the view of that tornado. Holy moly. A giant tornado on the ground here. Just to the south. Here we go. Giant tornado on the ground. Giant wedge tornado. Wow. Giant tornado on the ground. Let's see if Connor's has a better view of it. But again, I don't know if we have connection. And they have issued a PDS tornado warning. This goes all the way up here. Let me fix this. All the way up to Blitheville. So this is a large warning here. Hour and 7 minutes. Issuing this way in front of time. Look at this. A large and potentially violent tornado. I can assure you that. Look at this thing. Again, take shelter if you're in this warning immediately. This could be a half a mile wide wedge right now, going through northeastern Arkansas. And it looks like it's even intensifying. Look at this. Wow. Giant tornado. Still obviously on the ground, heading to the northeast. Let me quickly pan back here. Again, this is going to be heading towards Pontiac, Leachville, up to Hornsville, Manila, Gosnell, and Blithville. Obviously, the next in the path is Lake City. If you're anywhere in Lake City, underground immediately. This velocity right now is off the charts. Holy moly. Look at sounding. That is crazy. Let's go back here. Observe tornado. Wow. And this is going to be heading right towards Storm Runner Media here. Look at this thing. Still on the ground. Giant tornado. Wow. Still rotating here. And this is just a huge wedge tornado. You do not see these too often. This is just giant tornado. This is a very unfortunate sight right now. Hopefully, there's no major homes or people in the front of this storm. Wow. Just a giant tornado. And look at this. You have multiple even rotations around the storm. This could be a multi-vortex. Look at this. Just crazy imagery right now coming through. Lightning. And this is going to be heading up. They have now issued a tornado emergency. This is a catastrophic damage. A tornado emergency is now with this storm here. This is heading up towards Lake City here. Catastrophic damage is expected. If you live in Lake City, take shelter immediately. A large and catastrophic tornado right now is coming up into Lake City. I think we lost our storm chaser. I think we lost our feed here. Wow. So they have issued a tornado emergency. This is the highest scale of tornado emergency, tornado warnings. They only issued this when it's a catastrophic impacts, when basically, total damage is expected from this. If you're in the path of this tornado, it's going to be very difficult to escape it. You need to get underground and you need to get out of the way of this tornado here. Not to scare you, but could be a life or death situation if you are in front of this tornado. And you just need to get underground, get to the lowest floor possible. It looks like, let me refresh here. It looks like we did lose our stream. Service is most likely out in that area. Holy moly. Just a giant tornado. This is a tornado emergency. We're up to 25 tornado warnings. We also have another PDS tornado warning. We have two, actually. They've reissued the other one in Cape Girardeau as a PDS. So we currently have two PDS tornado warnings, and we have a tornado emergency. Again, just to the south of Bono, another tornado is most likely on the ground. Holy moly. Let's look at the correlation coefficient really quickly here. And look at that CC drop. Wow. Just a beast of a storm. And this tornado here, and you can see how it intensifies here. See how it's stronger in there? That just indicates that tornado is right on the ground and it's intensifying here. It looks like it's gone just to the north of Lake City here. Look at this. It's very glitchy, but look at this. A giant tornado here, still on the ground. Still on the ground here. Huge wedge tornado. Holy moly. This is going to be This is at least an EF3, at least an EF4 tornado. This is unfortunately going to be one of those tornadoes where if you're in the path of the storm, it's going to be hard to survive. Just a beast of nature. Wow. Wow. Obviously, take shelter. Take shelter. If you're anywhere in this tornado warning, take shelter immediately. This is a tornado emergency as a giant wedge tornado is on the ground. Heading to the northeast, this is in northeastern Arkansas. Giant tornado on the ground. This whole thing here is the tornado. This is over probably a mile wide. Tornado on the ground. Giant wedge tornado. Causing catastrophic damage. And this thing really took off over the last 30 minutes or so. Just a giant tornado. Wow. Looks like we may have lost the stream here. Holy moly. Catastrophic tornado. Take shelter now. Jeez Louise. Wow. Look at this thing. Huge tornado. When you see tornadoes like this, it's just speechless. How strong, how powerful they are. Let's quickly, real quick, look at the velocity here. Just speechless. Still have 25 tornado warnings. This high risk has definitely, unfortunately, come to fruition as a major tornado outbreak is actively occurring. A tornado of mass proportions. Proportions. Let's see how wide this rotation currently is. Let's see here. Wrong button, real quick. This will tell us here. Oops, here we go. Let's see how wide this is. This rotation, total length, 3.6 miles of rotation. This tornado most likely is over a mile wide. It's just crazy how quickly it came together here. Let's see if we can get this feedback up here. Storm Runner Media. We might have lost them. If you're in Montiat, get in your storm shelter now. You got to get this. You got to get underground. This is a beast of a tornado heading right up towards Montiat, and then eventually to Leachville and Hornsville. This just went just to the north of Lake City, hopefully. Obviously, get to your shelter now. If you're anywhere in this tornado warning, as a monster destructive tornado is actively occurring. Let's look at the correlation coefficient. And obviously, you have that deep debris ball. There's that CC drop. Let's play it back for you guys, and let's see when it really first touched down here. It looks like right after it went through Bay, it dropped down here, and it looks like it went just to the west of Lake City, across Highway 78, And now it's heading straight towards Montiat. Get in your shelter now. If you are in Montiat, this is a life-threatening situation. I'm trying to see if we can get that camera back up here, that view. Unfortunately, I don't think we can. Jeez Louise. Major tornado. Let's go back to the velocity here. Sorry, it's not loading here. 1 second. Let me refresh. Again, the scary thing is this cannot be the only storm that kind of blows up tonight. Look at all these discrete supercells still out in front of this line of storms. These are all going to have the capability to do the exact same thing that's currently happening right to the southeast of Jonesboro, Arkansas, where a major tornado is currently on the ground. A tornado emergency was issued a mere 5 minutes ago. And that tornado is still going to be on the ground here. It's going right through, it looks like Montiat, just hopefully to the west of Montiat. It's just heading towards Leachville, Cardwell, Airbird, going up to Hornsville, and then eventually towards Sinneth. Get in your shelter immediately if you're anywhere in this tornado warning. Let's see here. Trying to see if we can get a view here. This storm really started to take off here right when it got going towards Bay here. It quickly intensified, dropped a tornado just once it passed Bay, and it's been on the ground ever since here, causing catastrophic damage heading up towards Montiat. This tornado emergency is still in effect for another 54 minutes here. We are at 26 tornado warnings. We have a PDS tornado in Ponset, Arkansas. Let's head to that quickly here. Let's head to that one. Let's see. Gotta figure out which one it is. When there's 26 tornado warnings, it's sometimes kind of hard to figure out which one that is. Another tornado warning was just issued for Cape Girardeau, going right up towards Cape Girardeau. Come on, don't screw me over, Radar Omega. Let's load here. Look at this. We have a slew of tornado warnings now across portions of southern Illinois as well. It's not loading here. I can assure you this is still on the ground here. I want to see if we can get our storm chaser back up here real quick. It's not loading, unfortunately. And that rotation is only intensified here. Holy moly. A ginormous tornado has just gone through Montiat, Arkansas. This is eventually going to be going into Tennessee here if it continues to stay on the ground. And really, I don't think it has anything currently stopping it. Let's go back over to the reflectivity. The interesting thing is here, let's play this back for you guys. The storm really started to intensify when it passed Bay. The interesting thing is we're going to have a couple of thunders. Look at this. A couple of more discrete thunderstorms are going to be joining in with the storm. Those are going to be able to stop it and slow down its progression. But this is a monster right now, and it's going to be hard for anything to stop this giant tornado. Hopefully, there's a couple of these storms can kind of pair up with it and slow down its progress here. Hopefully, it can't make it through some of these convergence. Let's go back over to the velocity. And that rotation is obviously still very ominous. I unfortunately cannot get. Let's see here. This is going to be way too far away. This is Dyersburg. The site is like crashing right now. 27 tornado warning. Holy moly. Wow. Just speechless when these major events happen. This is what is just so sad when you experience these major events. We still have a tornado warning in Wisconsin. I'm not even gonna go there though. We need to focus still down here into Arkansas. Again, if you're anywhere in this tornado warning, a major tornado is currently on the ground. The good thing is the rotation on the last scan here looks to weakened slightly. I still think it's on the ground, but it looks like some slight weakening in the rotation is occurring. We still have that CC drop, so this tornado is still on the ground here. Hopefully, though, this dies off here before it gets to Leachville. This is heading very close to Leachville. Wow. 27 tornado warnings. We have a PDS tornado warning for Cape Girardeau. Let's quickly go to that one. Come on, Armega. Let's load up here. Come on. I think the site is literally crashing right now with so many tornado warnings. 27. I cannot tell you the last time we saw 27 tornado warnings at once. Holy moly. Wow. Here it is. Okay, so this is going right into Cape Girardeau, and we have an observed PDS tornado warning. Let's look at the velocity here. And it looks like we have a tornado going right into Cape Girardeau. This is a very not good situation here. Right, basically right over Dutchtown. I could see this tornado. Let's see here. It's an observed tornado, a PDS tornado warning. Nothing on the correlation coefficient here. Let's see, let's quickly look at this warning here really quickly. Weather spotters confirm tornado. So tornado is towards Cape Girardeau. Obviously a very highly populated area. Let me see. Wrong one. Let's see here. So the tornado is going to be right in here. It's heading right over Cape Girardeau, going roughly 50 to 55 miles an hour. If you're anywhere in Cape Girardeau, you want to take shelter immediately. Let's go back over to the reflectivity. Come on, stop glitching. There we go. If you're anywhere in Cape Girardeau, obviously look at this heavily populated area heading right into Cape Girardeau. This is southern Missouri. Let's go. You can see there's that inflow into the storm here. Your tornado. You can see this rotation. There's your outflow. Starting to definitely rotate here. You got that little hook, that little inflow notch. Let's go back to the velocity. And definitely some convergence here over Cape Girardeau. Very strong winds here. Let's see how this is wrapped up here over the last little bit. Obviously, this is a very, very populated area here. It looks like it may be to the southern end of Cape Girardeau, but it is right in the Cape Girardeau area nonetheless. Let's go back to reflectivity here. It looks like to the southern end of Cape Girardeau, an observed tornado is on the ground. Let's head back down to our tornado emergency. Let's head back. Give me 1 second here. Let's head back here. Where's the radar? Let's see. Let's check on the velocity. And the velocity is definitely weak. Definitely weakened with this storm. There still could be a tornado on the ground here heading towards. It's definitely weakened here in the last couple of runs. And I would not be surprised if this is no longer a very good sign, obviously. But again, we have another observed tornado warning. And this is, let's look at the velocity on this one real quick. Very similar situation is happening here. Very similar where our camera just was, where we're here. This is now going just to the south of Bay. And you can see here, another storm is starting to rotate here just to the east of Truman. Just to the east of Truman here. When we go over the reflectivity. A little bit of a messy look here, but if you had a tornado, it's going to be right in here. Here's your rotation. There's your hook. And the thing is it's going to be entering very similar conditions, favorable for tornadoes, which is, obviously catastrophic tornado just went through. This tornado emergency. So take with caution. And if you're anywhere in this warning, find immediate shelter. Let me go. Some tornado alerts have been allowed to expire. We're down to 21. They've taken away the tornado emergency, as I believe that tornado is no longer on the ground. Let's head back up to Cape Girardeau here. Let's go back over to the velocity. And very strong velocity here. Right in here. Very strong velocity here, basically right over Cape Girardeau, Missouri. This is going to be going into Illinois here in a little bit. But strong rotation. This is observed PDS tornado warning. Let me see the CC drop. I can't confirm anything off of the CC drop, so hopefully this is not on the ground. But let me go back to the reflectivity here. Arkansas. And again, these are all still the biggest threat. The three biggest storms, or a couple of biggest storms that are going to have the potential for tornadoes. These are going to be very favorable environments here, especially the storm right now. These two storms are very concerning here, especially to the one to the north of City. It has a nasty looking hook on it. Let's go back over to the velocity. New tornado warning was just again, there is some rotation starting to pick up here. Again, very strong, good inflow to it. Very classic look. And then let's go back up here. Now going up towards Lake City, Carway, Black Oak, just the same through. Again, there's starting to be some convergence with this storm going to a very similar situation that we just experienced with this last tornado. This could definitely, obviously, produce another major tornado with it. It's hard to see. I think it's observed tornado. It is hard to see, though, because so many tornado warnings on top of each other. We currently have 23 spanning all the way. We had one in Wisconsin. That one has been allowed to expire, but spanning all the way from Indiana back into Texas. And Arkansas is just coated with tornado warnings, as so many occurred here over these last couple of hours and are going to unfortunately continue to do so. I unfortunately got to get here, but I appreciate all you guys for joining me on this live stream. If you're anywhere in this risk 40, be sure to just keep obviously checking in with the weather. Obviously, just be weather aware. The situation is unfolding going into this evening here, and multiple tornadoes are still obviously going to be possible over these next couple of hours going eastward here. Let me show you that risk real quick. So there's that threat, and we're still got a large portion of that high risk left. Here's your greatest concern here, right in here. If you're anywhere in the area I just circled here, you want to be very weather aware over these next 2 to 4 hours as major tornadoes are possible. Again, just make sure you can find ways to get weather warnings and alerts, and just unfortunately, violent tornadoes are going to continue to be possible going through the night. Hope you guys just have a good rest of your day. I'll update you guys tomorrow as well. So I thank you guys all for stopping by. I just hope you guys have a great of your day.